Hey everyone, going on at, I don't even know what time it is. What time is it? It is 6:30. Now just give Facebook a minute to go ahead, load everything up, get everything ready. And my laptop out here. I'm actually doing 3 transfers on one side, so finally got Lucy off the projects I was working on because she's been laying on them. Grab some paste. So this one is going to be a Bless Our Home one. And I'm just going to pull up my Facebook page here. Oh, it's not cooperating. Feel free when you're stopping on to hit like or say hi.
So this one is going to be a Bless Our Home one.
Okay. So, put that to the side. So what I'm going to do is the Bless, well, it's the Bless Our Home one, but I'm not going to use the Bless Our. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to do a wreath in front and then the home. And then at the end, I'm going to take the, just the scene of the deer in the mountains to put. Since we're in the Adirondacks, that should work out pretty well. And I'm going to take, on top of the wreath, I'm going to put the welcome to from the Welcome to Our Porch that I did on my window. So that's the plan. Let's see how it turns out. Yes, Christine, I sell all of these. So, and I can like custom make designs and stencils and everything too. So, let me know if there's anything you're interested in or if you want to try it. Okay, I'm going to start with the wreath because the wreath is going to be layered. Green, and then the flowers on top of it, and then the welcome to is going to go on top of the wreath. So I'm just going to try to center it. I'll use my little fuzzing towel to fuzz it up a little bit. Not too much though, because I don't want it to be too loose. Yeah, Christine, you can message me anytime if there's something you want to try. Hi, Barb. Saturday morning was fun. Did look like it was a little early for Dakota, though. He's a teenager. She did much better with the chalk pen. So we discovered that, you know, for a 2-year-old, it's a little more challenging, but she had fun. She's much better with the chalk pens. It's more her speed. And just going to use green for the greenery, and then with the flowers, I'm going to do different colors. But I'm going to do the green first and then move on to the home so that this can dry, so that I can put the flowers and layer on top of it. Oh. Yeah, Barb, you didn't really do one. I mean, you helped Rena, but you didn't really do one on your own, so I forgot I was going to leave you like the catalog. So let me know if you want. I can drop that by. Or if you wanted me to leave you a sample kit. I don't know if Sarah took the ones that I left. Or I could always come down and do the Welcome to Our Porch on yours. Or I have to, I don't know if you saw the one that I did. I'm going to be doing another one for Mom where it's Life is Better at Grandma's House. It's about the same size as the Welcome to Our Porch one. But then, like I said, with the chalk paste, it just wipes off. So, I mean, you can change it or you could add to each season. You could add bunnies or anything you want. Okay. When I fuzz up the transfer, I fuzz it up just a little bit. I have not used this one before. And I'm just going to throw it into my water bucket so I can clean it later. Okay, so let's see if I can slide it up a little bit so you guys can see the detail on the wreath. The detail inside the leaves. Hopefully that camera's catching that. Facebook has a delay, so it's kind of hard for me to see what you can see at the same time. Alright, so I'm done with the green for now. Whoops, and I need to pick a color for the home. Oh, let's see. So when I spaced out the welcome to ends right about here. So I want the H to start right about there. Yeah, and Barb, is that a yes? Do you want me to drop off a catalog? There's a delay on it, so sometimes it's hard to tell me which question people are answering. So I'm just gonna line out the letters, and with the wreath, you can. Lots of people are taking the wreath and replacing the O with the wreath, which you can do. Same thing for the welcome signs. I did another welcome sign in blue this time, and I added some grass and flowers to the bottom of the pink welcome sign that I posted earlier, asking people. I know it needs more. I used a wider board than normal, so I think I need to add like some greenery and flowers and butterflies and stuff around the edge of it. You can always adjust the letters so they're up and down. I'm just going to put them on so I make sure that they're lined up right. Okay, I'll drop off a catalog for you. I gotta go down and check on Mom and Dad's anyways. Make sure the basement's not getting too much water in it. It didn't have too much, but it had a little bit. So just keep an eye on it. Make sure the sump pump doesn't stop. Seeing that their house is surrounded by a swamp. Okay. So again, I can always put the bless R over the wreath. I just want the welcome to R. Because hopefully Mom didn't care for the welcome ones. So maybe she'll like this one. We'll see. She can be picky. So picky. Alright, and that leaves me plenty for the mountain scene. Okay, so anybody have any opinions on color? Now I did the raspberry on the other one. I did a dark blue, so the two that I've done so far, so everybody can see. These were the welcome ones, which are a little bit different, but so this was the raspberry, which comes out very pink, and I've added a little greenery and flowers to the bottom with some butterflies, which I'll probably add some more. And then this wood I just stained and waxed, same as this one. I did this in the cadet blue, which is more of like a navy blue. And I'm going to add some baseball players to this one for the boys. So I have lots of baseball players. Hey, Tammy! Glad you're on your new Facebook. I'm just combining like 3 transfers on this one. I'm on vacation this week, so I have plenty of time to play. When as soon as I turned my back earlier, like this part's already dry, pretty much. I turned around and on my fuzzing cloth, Lucy was taking a nap. So she was not cooperating with my plan for the day. Let's see. I don't know if this is going to be dark enough. I've got my guava, which is like an orangish color. I kind of want to make sure it's dark. Maybe I'll do the cadet again. I'm going to do the cadet again, just because it came out really good. And that'll tie into the mountain scene of the river and everything. That'll be good. Alright, grab another squeegee. And as I do each letter, I'm going to pull it up and slide it down a little bit more so you can see a little bit better, hopefully. After I do each letter, I'm going to pull it up and put it in my water bucket. And I'm going to need to... So this is an older paste and it's getting a little bit lower. So you won't have to do this, anybody, with the new paste formula that's out. And most of these are new paste formula, but this blue, I still have some old cadet blue left to use. And that can feel like it thickens up. So you just add a little water, or if you get too much water, just let it sit out to dry. I'm using up almost all my cadet, which is pretty good. Alright, so I'm just gonna wipe it on. You can do it any way you want. You can put a little bit here or there and scrape off the excess. I am using the chalk paste on the wood. You can use ink if you want. Completely up to you. The chalk paste is, of course, more forgiving. So if you screw up, you can easily just take it right off. With the ink, you probably could too. You would, need to sand it down and maybe even fix some of the wax and stain on it. So as I pull it up, I'm just going to check the letters to make sure if anything looks like it didn't go through clearly, which it does. I can put it right back down and add a little bit more to it. And no problems with that one. So hopefully you can see that well. I'm just going to do that with each letter. All the way across. Yeah, Tammy, we're actually, Melissa, in the Sweet Chalkers group that we've got for our team, Melissa's actually putting together a video to show people how to like navigate their back office. Because even people that have been in it for a while, they redid part of the back office. They improved it for like how you can find resources and search, and you can get little images and stuff for your social media that are like nice and professionally done and stuff. So we're putting together one of those little videos so people can know what to do. If anybody needs instructions on anything, let me know. I am going to do a little video on, because I have the little sample kits that I've been giving out that are like $5 in my VIP group, but in case you win one or something. Sorry if I stop talking, I'm concentrating. I'm going to do a video of like, okay, you've got your sample kit, now what do you do? Because the sample kits, the kits that I have together are the mini size. So it's like a, I don't know, 3x3. It's basically the size of this lid. And it's got 3 surfaces in there: cork, wood, and the reusable chalkboard. It's double-sided. With a paste packet and a squeegee and instructions. Ooh, this is coming out much better. Awesome. So these are, I know somebody commented earlier on my pink one, Selena, said use solid letters. I do have my welcome sign that's coming that has the solid letters like this, instead of the ones that look like little shutters. That's the new style. This is the old style. That's the new style. A little bubble in here. But I do have that coming. So I have a variety of them. But if anybody wants to see one in a specific color, I have the hardest time picking which colors I want to use because I have so many of them. So if there's a sign you want to see in a certain color, let me know, because I can always do it for one of my lives. And usually anything that I make is for sale, so. Or I can make a duplicate of it, usually, depending on what the supplies I used were. The shipping from the website has been, because of COVID, everybody knows the UPS and USPS and FedEx, although FedEx has been doing great for timing. They've been the best out of everybody that they've been shipping through, because they use whoever's going the fastest at the time. I was surprised because usually FedEx up here, we don't get a lot of stuff by FedEx. It's usually UPS because we're in the middle of, not nowhere, but pretty close to nowhere. So I have stuff that I've got in stock here just because I stocked up on things, just because I knew that when I do an order, it's going slow right now. That, and they have the new catalog release this month. So every designer ordered a lot of their stuff, and there's almost 20,000 designers. Oh, yeah, so hopefully you can get access to your account. You can, in that support box, you can message them, and it'll give you like a generic question answer, because I had to call them earlier about one of my orders. And then if you hit further to talk, you can like talk live chat with somebody. And they're open, well, they're usually like 7 p.m. East Coast time. Because whenever they post times, they're all Mountain Standard Time. And I always remember, okay, you gotta add 2 hours for us. Took me forever to figure that out. Okay, so if you guys can see the home, just got the E to go. And it's about time that I order some more new cadet, because my cadet, I can even see the bottom. You do love it though, it's a nice little color. Little air bubble there. Remember not to be stingy with your chalk paste because you just scrape up the excess and put it into a different area. I'm using more than normal because this is a big sign. I mean, I could have done like a rainbow effect on this and done like a rainbow colors, faded from one to the other. I got some, the next board I'm going to do is I'm going to use like a darker stain. See how that looks. I'll probably use some lighter paint colors as a result of that. All right, so blue. Oh. Yeah, be careful at the Dollar Tree. Melissa just spent 60 at hers and I spent 40, so it's very easy to do, especially like once you start chalking. Now that you've started chalking, you like walk through the store and be like, oh, I could chalk that, I could chalk that, I could make something with that. And it's like, oh, it's only $1. Because it is only $1. It's a great cheap place to get supplies. So if anybody was trying this out and wanted to, I know like a lot of the local dollar stores now have little chalkboards, like little like, I don't know, like 4x4, 3x4 or something. Oops. Okay. So let me feel this. Feels a little tacky on one part, so that's not ready for me to do the second layer yet. Alright, so don't fall. Alright, so the last part that I'm adding is, so this is one of the older transfers. That's the Take Me to the Mountains. If anybody remembers, one of the first ones I did where I did all the different colors. I'm going to do a similar thing on that one with blues and greens and stuff. And I'm going to do it here at the end. So I'll give it a little bit more decoration, which I like it for up here because we're in the Adirondacks. So. Right. Just going to fuzz up my transfer a little bit, not a ton. Just enough. So I still want it to be pretty sticky. Oops. Just trying to make sure it's kind of like an even picture. So you can see that okay. I'll back up the camera just a little bit. That way I don't go over the edge. Okay, I did mistakenly just, if you saw, just stuck my hand on the E, but it didn't leave much come up because it's drying pretty quickly. It's soaking in. All right, so I'm gonna do, so a little bit of blue for the water, a little green for the mountains, maybe like baby blue for the clouds. Grab some sweeties. And I know my colors, my colors are gonna end up bleeding in together, and I'm not too particular about that. I just kind of want to get the feel of it. Could just do it all in one color, but looks like it's pretty much it for water. So I use just a little bit for the water. The mountains are going to be a bigger area. I'm also going to use like my Ocean Mist, which is like a baby blue. Oops. I'm going to use that for the clouds up top. And let's stir this one up. So, doesn't look like it needs water or anything, just needs to be stirred up. And I'm just going to do a little bit on the cloud area. And again, you don't have to be fancy and do different colors. You can just do it all one color, or do an ombre effect where I could do like a light blue that fades into a dark blue or something. I'll do the birds in the light blue too, why not? So for my green, I'm going to use both of my greens, the light green and the dark green, to give like a little shadowing on the mountain. You can see the difference in the green with the old formula, new formula. New formula, perfect, creamy. This one looks a little lumpy. It's fine. Think of it like cake or brownie batter. It's not going to hurt it. I did it down there and it didn't make any difference in it. So, okay, let me grab some of this. So on this, I'm going to do, for the mountains, some of the dark green, but I'm also going to put like light green on top of it. Which hopefully it will give it like a little bit of a shadow effect. Same thing with the grass down below. So hopefully you can see this okay. I'm just going to go over any area with the green and fill in the gaps with the light green. Pistachio is one of the seasonal colors. Love it. So anywhere that has green. So it's going to look like a little fading of light green, dark green. You know, as if the sun were hitting it. I'll probably be on it all different times this week because I'm on vacation. I check into my email at the end of every day. So if somebody from work is trying to get a hold of me or trying to get a hold of me for financial aid at SUNY Canton, I will be checking my emails, but I'm not going to be checking them until like either at the beginning of the day or the end of the day. And at night. Because I can't stop. Okay, so all I have left is... Ooh. Okay, what I almost just did is I almost put this back in there, but it's got dark green and light green on it. I don't want to do that, as I don't want dark green getting into my light green. I was watching one time and somebody was doing theirs, and they had like bright candy apple red and white they were using, and she was talking and not paying attention, and threw her little stir stick with bright candy apple red in the white jar, and everybody was like, oh, no! Okay, I don't really have a brown. Okay, I'm gonna grab my, I've got gold and copper. Okay, copper is what I used last time for it, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. So these are all my shimmers. Because I don't have my brown yet. Okay, so let's see. If I can get a little bit of copper on there. Right, let's see. The shimmers are, even in the old formula, honestly, I think they based the new formula off the old formula, off the shimmers. Because the shimmers have always been great. In the winter we had some trouble with freezing, and the new paste formula doesn't have that problem. But the shimmers were always perfect. And the texture of the new formula is very much like the shimmer. So if you have any of the shimmers, know that pretty much the new paste formula is pretty much the same. The only difference is when every time you open the shimmers, that's perfectly flat in there, in the jar. Like perfectly flat, no matter how you leave it. don't know why. It's really the only difference now between the shimmers and the new base formula, other than the shimmers have glitter in them. Okay, so now that I'm doing this, hopefully this won't be too dry, because I could have done a pull and peel on it. Make sure I got all the little areas, and I believe I did. So, but as I pull it up, I'm going to check and see, because I did the blue and the green first, so if anything, those have started to dry. Wondering, yeah. Wondering if maybe I should have added a little black to the deer. Okay, so the grass at the bottom is drying. And now, what about the water? The grass and the water are drying, so I'm going to add some fresh blue to the top of it for the water, and some fresh green to the top of it for, and I'm going to use some of the light blue to give it a little bit, since some of the dark blue is still on there. But this is what can happen, being that I started with the bottom. I could have pulled it up and let it dry a little bit, but all right. All right, let's see if that looks better. Oh yeah, much better. All right, so I'm gonna do the same thing with the green. So if you see something like that, you can just pull it up and then pop it right back down. I do actually still have some wet green stuff on here because the colors had been mixed together. But I'm gonna need to get a little bit more green. All right, let's check this. We can always pull it up and then put it back down after things dry. It can just be a little harder to line things up that way. Let's see if I need this. Put it in my water buckets. Okay, so how well you can see that. I've got the water and the green. So now I just want to go over my leaves with the flowers and the welcome to. Grab all these out to the way. Making sure I got everything cleaned up so I don't hit the bottom of my board. Alright. I'm just slide you forward a little bit, hopefully. Alright, so I'm going to go over this. This should be completely dry now. I've done that entire thing. It's had plenty of time to dry. I'm going to grab my other part of the wreath. So it's designed to overlap it. It's just got the flowers on it. Then I'm going to fuzz it up a little because I don't want it to be too sticky. Because if it's too sticky, it's going to pull up that green I already have down. I'm going to make sure I fuzz it really good. I'm just going to be extra careful when I color the flowers. I think I'll use like, I don't know, maybe my golden hour or my pink and guava maybe. Just giving it some extra fuzzes. I really don't want it to be too sticky, and I've never used this one before, so it's already extra sticky. Alright, so it's pretty much, I can see through the silkscreen mesh the leaves underneath. I'm just trying to make sure that all my flowers are overlapping some leaves. really no right or wrong way to do it. I'm just making sure that they're touching all the green area. And then just smoothing it down a little bit. Let's see. This is, yeah, that still feels really dry. Even the E feels dry. Okay. Now colors. I'm getting a little crazy with color today. I don't know why. I'm using all these different colors, which I don't usually do. These are all new paste formula. So I've got guava, peony, which is the pink, golden hour, which is the new yellow for spring. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my stir sticks, which hopefully will mean that it's not going to be as messy. Let's see, because I'm going to be sticking my fingers in it. Hi! Hey, Melissa. Which transfer do you like, Tammy? Oh, the mountain one that I just used? We do have designer groups that are in search of, so if there's like an old retired transfer that you really want, you can go in there and find it and just comment that you're looking for it. And other designers will post if they have anything for you. And the good thing is they'll give it to other designers at designer price. So usually so if you ever have anything that you didn't sell and then gets retired, it's a good way to get rid of them. So I'm just going to put a little color on each one. Use my stir stick to do so. And put a little yellow on. Just be careful if you're doing this and you touch any colors that you are not putting the stir stick back into the jar if you've got other colors on it. And again, you don't even need to use the stir stick. You actually could just stick your finger in the jar and dab it on. And sorry, it's just starting to get a little dark out here. This is usually the time of day where the sun starts to set. However, a lot of times the sun here starts to come out as it's setting. It's very odd. Alright, so now I'm going to use, hopefully you guys can see it. Now I'm going to use my finger to blend the colors together. When you're doing that, be careful that you're not sliding the transfer around. So don't push down like this and move it around. Go nice and easy. Remember, any dark colors are going to overwhelm the light colors. So this has yellow in it. Be very careful because yellow is going to get overwhelmed by everything else. And I'll just keep switching up my fingers. So if I get too much orange on one finger and not enough yellow, I'll switch it up. I'm just wanting to get all the areas filled in, and then I'll squeegee off the excess. So you guys are getting to see a couple different techniques tonight. There. So that just kind of looks like a little mess as I got my fingers. And just gonna rinse them off in my buckets and dry them off with a towel. And then I'm gonna take a squeegee and take the excess off. And I'm not going to dump the excess back in anything because it's going to have all mixed colors. If I had a ton of excess, then you could scoop it into a jar or a baggie or something. So now I'm just going to scrape off the excess so I can see the flowers and then pull it up. And you could just use one color. I know, I'm just going for it because I'm on vacation. Alright, so I do have excess. Not a big deal. I'm going to pull this up. I'm going to go nice and slow because I do not want to pull up any of the green underneath just in case it were to stick. And it doesn't look like none of the green's coming up, which is good. Flowers are nice and pretty. Throw that in my water bucket. And I'm just going to pick up a little mess here. So the last part I have is the welcome to, which I would do, not sure what color. Maybe I would do that in the cadet blue to go with the home, which also ties into the blue and the water and the mountain scene. Okay. Ooh. All right, so not sure if you can see that. Let me see if I can grab which one of these is my layout here. No, my light needs to be changed. All right. So here's a little bit close up of the flowers, the different colors fading into each other. A little hard to see. Maybe in the picture afterwards you'll be able to see it a little bit better. So to finish it off, what I want to do is I'll show you what I'm going to do. But I need to let those flowers dry before I do it. Otherwise I'll end up pulling up the flowers when I do it. Okay, so So from the welcome to our porch that I did on my window, I'm just going to say welcome to our, the welcome to our like this, diagonally. So it's like welcome to our home. That shouldn't take too long to dry, so I'm going to start to fuzz this up. Because I'm only going to fuzz the welcome to our section. The other section I'm going to leave on white, which will hopefully make it a little bit easier for me to do while I'm putting it on there. Because as you can see, I've used this one several times and it's still really sticky. All right. Do this over here. And as you can see, I am sticking it on itself. Trying to be careful, but I end up sticking on myself. If you do, just pull it up gently. If it's really stuck and doesn't want to, just add a little water, spray a little water on it. It'll help it release, so you can get it unstuck. One night I had, when I did the lamp and the ink, anybody that saw that one, that when I got done, by the time I got to the bathroom with that one, it was in a ball. It was the first time I'd ever done such a huge transfer. But hopefully you can learn from my mistakes. It's drying pretty quickly out here, so it's almost dry. Does anybody have any questions or comments or anything you want to see in the future? Darker stain, lighter stain. I like how this, oh, no, I'm not going to want to part with this one now. Watch, Mom will like it because I now don't want to part with it. I've got my little mountain scene, which is now dry. And then this one here. Okay, so I'm going to fuzz this up really well so that I don't pull up those flowers when I do it. Okay, so let me get my little fuzz cloth. And I'm just doing, this is when you have bigger ones, you can do them upside down like this, where you're putting the cloth on it and back instead of peeling the transfer off and back. Sometimes it just makes it a little bit easier for you. I do want to make it nice. I really do not want this to be sticky at all, or it's going to pull my flowers up. Be sure to like if you want to comment. If you share the video, you get entered in the weekly drawing. If you go into my VIP group, you can see what you get in the weekly drawing. I just can't publicly state what you get. Chalk Couture doesn't let us do that. Okay. So, I'm going to go at a little bit of an angle. This should be the welcome to our... Whoops. And the more transfers you get, you can combine things. You could, if you had like the welcome, I could have cut the welcome to our off of this transfer. I just made it like one is a welcome to, the other one is porch. Yeah, that's not gonna want to work with the white. All right, this will help. So even though you have the bigger transfers, you can cut them down to smaller sizes. Whatever works best for you. And I'll stick with my blue theme. Grab another squeegee. And let me grab one more thing so you guys can see this a little bit better. Or actually, you're not going to be able to see the finished product because the sun's going down quickly and it's not being very bright tonight. All right, that's a little bit better. Okay, so if you can see, I've got the welcome to our, which comes right up to here. And that's what I'm going to do on the blue. There we go. Okay. I'm just going slow all the way across. I did fuzz this transfer up really well. I don't want it to move. But I also don't want to push down too hard because I've got the wet flowers underneath it. That they're pretty much dry now, but in any thicker areas, they're more likely to want to try to pull up. If I were to mess up anything or if it slid, I can easily clean it up with my detail tool or a Q-tip and water. Because as it's chalk paste, it's water based, that you can clean it right up with water. All right, so looks like we're good. Pull it up and then this one will be done. I'm going to start down here because this was the first section I did to make sure it hasn't started to dry. So that looks pretty good. There's one little part on the M that looks like the very tip of the M. Could use a little more wet stuff. There we go. There we go. Awesome. All right, set that there. All right, what do you guys think? Do you like it? I like it. It came out better than I thought it was going to come out, actually. So we've got the, so you guys can see, whoops, we've got the little, hopefully, come on Facebook, catch up. Got the little mountain scene with the water and the mountains. It's either a deer or an elk. It's really hard to tell. I don't know my animals well enough. My nephews will probably yell at me because they know exactly what it is. Okay. And then we've got the home in the cadet, which is the navy blue. And then at the beginning, and you'll see that the welcome to our looks a little darker. It's just because it's wet still. So as it dries, it'll lighten up a little bit like that color. So then we've got the welcome to our with the wreath and then the flowers. If you can see that a little bit. Ooh. There we go. All right, so it looks like you can see that better now. Hopefully you can see it well. Not too much of a glare with the welcome to our home. So it'll be like this. And I'll try to set it out to dry without the cats messing with it, which is always the challenge. So, oops. Right. So if you can see it back there, the welcome to our home. So feel free to, I do have the catalog posted so that everybody can see it. I don't know if you can see it a little bit better like that. Ooh. She's still going to want this one. No, she is. It's because I want to keep it. I might have to make a second one for Mom. Or anybody else that's looking for one. Right, I think I'm going to sign out. Oh, it took like 40 minutes. Not bad, being that I kept running around and doing things. I had to wait for that to dry. All right, I'm gonna tune in, and then maybe some other people are doing lives, like Melissa. It's Monday night though, so she's probably doing homework. All right. Night, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit like or comment or share. Do any of those, especially if you can do those into any groups, would be great. Bye. Oh, and I know I don't always say that. I have all this stuff for sale. Either the stuff that you can make it yourself, or like I just did, or you can buy finished products that are made for you. So obviously if you buy the stuff, you can make like 10, 20 of them. The transfers are good for, it says 8 to 12 uses, but I've used some like 20 times. So the better care you take of them, the longer they're gonna last. All right. All right, night, guys. Have a great Monday. Enjoy the rest of your week and the nice warm weather while we have it.